After marrying Lu Chen, he lost his memory. After marrying Lu Chen, he suffered a sudden amnesia. The once bright, sunny boy turned gloomy and reticent. Stubbornly, he insisted I was the wife of his late older brother. When my efforts to correct him failed, I just let him be. But as time went by, the way he looked at me grew increasingly improper. When a colleague drove me home, he clenched his fists, barely containing his jealousy. It seems a man brought sister-in-law back today? When I fell sick and delirious, he knocked on the door and whispered, "Sister-in-law, open the door, I'm my brother." "Madam, the young master has had an accident." By the time the butler called me for the 10th time, I was already swamped. On the verge of closing a huge deal, I snapped impatiently. What could possibly happen to him? We'd been married for years, and Lu Chen had always been low maintenance. Our relationship was one of mutual convenience, neither of us bothered the other. Listening to friends complain endlessly about their marriages, I'd always thought I was lucky. No complicated in-laws, no annoying husband. Our marriage was more like a partnership. He needed me, and I needed him. The butler said nervously, "The young master was in a car accident. He hit his head." What? I shot to my feet, grabbed my coat, and rushed out of the meeting room. When I arrived at the hospital breathless, Lu Chen's parents, whom I'd only met on our wedding day, turned to me with worried looks. "Yue, you're here." I hurried to Lu Chen, who sat on the hospital bed looking dazed. I squeezed his cheeks, checking him over from head to toe. "How are you feeling?" Lu Chen stayed silent, just staring at me. His bangs had grown long, covering his pretty eyelashes and making him look gloomy. I waved a hand in front of his face. "Hey, do you recognize me?" His lips trembled. "Jiang Yue." I sighed in relief and turned to his parents. "Mom, Dad, don't worry, Lu Chen is fine, see?" They exchanged a glance. "But something feels strange. Chen loves oranges more than anything, but when I peeled one for him just now, he said he doesn't like them." I looked back at him confused. "You don't like oranges anymore?" He used to crave them, couldn't go a week without them. Our house always smelled faintly of oranges. Instead, Lu Chen continued staring at me and said coldly, "Sister-in-law, I don't like oranges." Me? When I brought Lu Chen home, he wandered around the rooms. Mother Lu pulled me aside, tears in her eyes. "Yue, I never told you. Akin really did have a twin brother. What happened must have traumatized him too deeply. The doctor said not to upset him for now. Please bear with him, I'll come by often." I nodded, and took the photo from her. Two nearly identical teenage boys stood side by side, smiling at the camera. One was bright and cheerful, the other quiet and gloomy, but both were handsome. Lu Chen's twin brother, Lu Yang, had died in a car accident at 17, while buying a birthday gift for Lu Chen. I stared at the man exploring the room, feeling an inexplicable ache in my heart, but the moment our eyes met, he asked softly, "Sister-in-law, which room did my brother sleep in with you?" I blankly pointed toward the master bedroom. He nodded, and put all his things from the hospital into the guest room. After the car accident, Lu Chen's memory was messed up. He truly believed I was his late brother's wife, and that his brother had only just died. I watched him walk into the guest room, worried. I still had a career to build at Jiaxin Group. My marriage to Lu Chen had been an accident. We were high school classmates, but I had no memory of ever interacting with him. One day, fed up with my family pressuring me to marry, I randomly posted on my WeChat Moments, "Some guy alive who wants to marry me." A profile that had been silent for years lit up. In the empty chat, Lu Chen sent photos of his household registration and medical report. Can I do it? I was completely confused. Who even was this guy? When did I add him? But when I met Lu Chen in person, I was more than satisfied. He was sunny, handsome, clean living, and most importantly, he was the CEO of Jiaxin Group. I had just quit their rival company, bitter from being bullied for too long. The terms of this marriage let me spread my wings at Jiaxin without fear, while he gained leverage over his competitors. That day, I shook the smiling man's hand. Deal. No matter how many times I tried to explain that I was his wife, not his brother's, he refused to believe me. He just looked at me like I was crazy, pointing at our wedding photo. "This is my brother, Lu Yang." I rolled my eyes and gave up. An amnesiac husband could wait, work could not. I grabbed my laptop and continued dealing with difficult clients. Lu Chen's amnesia had put many projects on hold, and I had to clean up his mess. When I finally checked the time, it was already 3 a.m. I yawned, turned off the lights, and dove straight under the covers, completely ignoring how the man beside me went from sleepy to wide-eyed in shock. Sister-in-law, you. I was exhausted. I batted away his reaching hand and wrapped my arm around his neck. One more sound, and I'll kill you. With that, I curled up comfortably and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, I opened my eyes to find the man beside me stiff and exhausted. His expression turned even gloomier. He gritted his teeth. How long has my brother been gone, sister-in-law? You're shameless. I raised my hands helplessly. Sorry, I just sleep here. By here, I meant the crook of Lu Chen's shoulder. Soon, work matters were almost back on track. Lu Chen rested at home for a week, and once I handed most responsibilities back to him, he handled them flawlessly. But one thing had changed. Where he used to smile at everyone, now, the atmosphere around him was icy cold. Everyone entered his office trembling and left shaking. His secretary asked me worriedly, "Madam, do you think he'll ever get better? I miss the old young master so much." I stirred my coffee, confused. Isn't this version good? He's efficient, fast, and you don't have to guess what he's thinking. She wailed. No, not at all. You haven't seen his eyes. I'm scared to even look at him. Who likes a gloomy guy like this? Please, let the old young master come back. I laughed and patted her shoulder, not noticing Lu Chen standing behind the pantry door, his knuckles white around his coffee cup. To celebrate the project's success, the secretary suggested a team dinner. I agreed and texted Lu Chen, "No need to wait for me tonight. I'm having dinner with colleagues." He replied with a single, The dinner dragged on until midnight. Everyone was drunk. The only man who hadn't been drinking, Si Yan, was tasked with driving everyone home. When he dropped me off, I waved, cheeks flushed. "Keep working hard tomorrow, okay, shall see?" I turned to go inside. Not a single light was on in the house. Confused, I flipped the switch only to jump at the dark figure sitting on the sofa. It was Lu Chen. I felt guilty. "Why are you still up so late?" He sat in the dark, his black eyes thick as night, heavy and unreadable. "It seems a man brought sister-in-law back today." I quickly explained, "Don't misunderstand. That's Si Yan, just my colleague. He was sick, so he didn't drink." Lu Chen slowly stood up and glanced at me, his tone casual. "I was only worried about your safety. After all, you're just my sister-in-law. I have no right to question you." I fell silent, feeling inexplicably tired, yet also relieved. Lu Chen had never cared about me, not before or now. Why was I overthinking this? We were only partners in a marriage. As long as his personality change didn't ruin our arrangement, it didn't matter. That night, whether from alcohol or exhaustion after working non-stop, I developed a fever. In my daze, I heard someone knocking. But I had no strength to open the door, nor did I want to deal with Lu Chen and his confused mind. I mustered all my energy and shouted, "Leave me alone." The knocking stopped. Just when I thought he'd given up, and I could finally sleep, it started again. Lu Chen's low, hoarse voice came through the door. "I bought you medicine for your hangover." When there was still no answer, he sounded helpless, almost wronged. "Sister-in-law, open the door. I'm my brother." I dragged my weak body up and opened the door unsteadily. "Are you done yet?" My body gave out, and I collapsed into his arms. Lu Chen didn't push me away, his warm palm pressed to my forehead. "You have a fever." I mumbled in response and lost consciousness. Through the night, someone kept replacing the cold compress on my forehead. I tried to see Lu Chen's face, but couldn't open my eyes. Somewhere inside, I thought, if I recovered tomorrow, I'd be a little gentler to him. Even with his confused mind, he didn't deserve my anger. When I woke again, Lu Chen sat beside me with a faint, gentle smile softer than I'd ever heard him speak. "You're awake." For a second, I thought he'd turned back into the old Lu Chen. But the ripples in his dark, icy eyes immediately proved me wrong. "Lu Chen?" I called his name. He froze for a moment, then his smiling lips straightened. "It seems you really loved my brother deeply. We look exactly the same. How can you still tell us apart?" My already aching head hurt even worse. I mentally took back every thought of forgiving him. I sighed helplessly. "Why else? Because the man I married was always you, Lu Chen. I never even knew Lu Yang." I pulled the covers over my head and ignored him. Several minutes of silence passed. Just when I thought he'd left, his hoarse, tired voice came from above. "You all prefer Lu Yang. He's gone. Can't you just pretend I'm him?" I slowly pulled the blanket down and looked at him. His face was pale, dark circles under his eyes from staying up all night. Only then did I realize something was deeply wrong. The gloomy, paranoid one was Lu Chen. The bright, cheerful one was Lu Yang. They had always been easy to tell apart. So why had the Lu Chen I first met, the one everyone talked about, acted like the long-dead Lu Yang? What else was the Lu family hiding from me? I reached up and held his face. My cold hands made him flinch. My voice was sincere, like never before. In my heart, you have always only been Lu Chen. A week later was Mother Lu's birthday. I made plans early for us to go to the Lu family's old house for dinner. In the 5 years before his amnesia, Lu Chen had never taken me to meet his family. Since we were only partners, there was no need to get too involved. I was happy to avoid in-law drama. Can I not go? Lu Chen asked me privately a week in advance. I don't want to. I looked at the man acting like a spoiled child. It's your mother's birthday, how can you not go? I wouldn't have known if I hadn't asked the butler. His parents had rushed to his side immediately after the accident, clearly worried about him. He had no right to be so ungrateful. He tried to protest again, but I put on a firm face. You're going. He pressed his lips together, and finally agreed. Mother Lu was overjoyed when we arrived. She cooked a huge table full of dishes, all of Lu Chen's old favorites. But Lu Chen's expression had been dark since we stepped inside. I poked his arm. What's wrong? Lu Chen shook his head, and gave me a reassuring look. Sister-in-law, I'm fine. I noticed that over time, I'd gotten used to being called sister-in-law. Before, Lu Chen only ever called me Miss Jiang, even more distant than a business partner. Now, sister-in-law felt like family. I silently scolded myself for being shameless, then picked up a piece of sweet and sour spare ribs and put it in his bowl. Here, your favorite. Lu Chen's dark eyes stilled, he tightened his mouth. I don't like. Mother Lu suddenly stopped eating, her smile stiff. What's wrong? You've always loved sweet and sour spare ribs. I made them especially for you. Father Lu also stared at him. A heavy silence fell. Lu Chen seemed to surrender. He quickly put the rib in his mouth, his Adam's apple bobbing visibly. He was forcing himself to eat something he hated, but he couldn't hold it down. Moments later, he rushed to the bathroom and threw up. The sound of his vomiting reached the dining room. Mother Lu's temples twitched, her eyes turning fierce and terrifying, yet her voice was still soft. Yang Yang, these are your favorite, eat up, be good. I frowned. Yang Yang? Lu Yang? Father Lu tried to smooth things over. You Wei, eat. It's fine, your mother was just anxious and called the wrong name. But the mother who claimed to be anxious rushed to Lu Chen, grabbing him as he still vomited weakly. She could no longer hold back. She screamed, face twisted with madness and hatred. Yang Yang, you love these. Look at me. I finally got you to act like him. Why? Why are you forgetting everything I taught you? Akan, you're being bad. Lu Chen let her shake him like a puppet. His tie was loose, shirt torn. He looked at his own mother helplessly, as if his whole world had collapsed. I stepped forward and stopped Mother Lu. Enough. He is not Lu Yang, he is Lu Chen. Only Lu Chen. Stop being crazy. Mother Lu was pulled behind Father Lu. She gasped for breath, almost breaking down crying. Lu Chen, you should die. You should die. Why wasn't it you? Why my Yang Yang? It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, my Yang Yang would still be alive. I frantically covered Lu Chen's ears. Don't listen, Lu Chen. Don't listen, you're only Lu Chen. Don't believe her lies. The sight of Lu Chen's fragile expression nearly tore my heart in two. I couldn't imagine how many times this had happened since Lu Yang's death, how it had broken him into this. I finally understood why Lu Chen never brought me home in 5 years. I had forced him back into this hell. He was a child, his own parents wished dead. The more they loved Lu Yang, the more they hated Lu Chen. Lu Chen's eyes went blank. He pushed me away and stumbled toward the door. I called his name, but he didn't hear. I looked at the crying Mother Lu and the Father Lu who had let it all happen, my voice cold and determined. Uncle, Auntie, don't worry. For the rest of our lives, I will never let Lu Chen step foot in this house again. You make me sick. As if fate hated happy endings, the moment we stepped outside, a heavy downpour poured down. Lightning split the sky, making my head spin. Lu Chen wasn't answering his phone. I searched for hours in the rain, only to find him crouching trembling at our front door when I got home. I closed my eyes and pulled the fragile man into my arms, unable to say a word. Warm, wet tears soaked my neck. burning straight into my heart. How had he endured all those years alone, forcing himself to become the person everyone loved, turning into the bright, cheerful Lu Chen, even cutting his hair like Lu Yang, dressing like Lu Yang, acting like Lu Yang. His own parents thought he was responsible for their favorite son's death, so Lu Chen gave them a new Lu Yang. If not for this amnesia, would Lu Chen have spent his whole life pretending to be someone else? Deep down, he must have hated those years of acting. Forgetting, maybe it was a kind of freedom. He laughed through trembling tears. Sister-in-law, I almost just died. Everyone wants me dead anyway, right? But then I thought, even if I die, they'll only miss the bright Lu Yang, not me. So I decided, I should first make everyone hate me. Then at least, when they talk about me, they'll remember the real Lu Chen. My face drained of color. Don't die, don't. I'll remember you. I'll always remember you. I took a month's leave from work and handed most responsibilities to a professional manager. I began taking Lu Chen around the city, showing him the world again, helping him relearn who he was. He was curious about everything. I was surprised to find that Lu Chen didn't like sour oranges. He loved sweet strawberry cake. He didn't enjoy sweet and sour sparrows, but his eyes lit up eating stinky luocefen with me. Later, I even completely renovated our home, repainting every wall. Over and over, I patiently asked what colors he liked. If he couldn't decide, we stayed in a hotel until he did. I lay on the hotel bed and gently kicked Lu Chen. Hey, do you want a round bed or a square one for our bedroom? Lu Chen's eyes curved into a smile. Sister-in-law, you're asking me? We're sleeping together. I'd spoiled him too much lately. He dared to tease me now. I tapped his head with a book. He looked at me wronged. Then decide for yourself if you're going to be like that. I humped and lay on the bed, picking out bed styles, my feet swinging happily in the air. Lu Chen sat behind me, just watching me. Time moved slowly, as if we'd been together forever. One day, on a whim, I took out our high school graduation photo. I'd never been curious about what Lu Chen looked like back then. In the photo were me, Lu Chen, and Lu Yang. He leaned in to look with me, then suddenly pointed at a girl next to me. I remember her, Jiang Peiyao. She was your best friend. Out of everyone in the album, he only named Jiang Peiyao. A strange sour feeling filled my chest. Of course, I'd been chosen as a partner because I fit the type Lu Yang liked. What kind of girl did the real Lu Chen like? I shook my head, chasing the irrational feeling away. Jiang Peiyao opened a flower shop near our old high school. Do you want to go see it? Lu Chen lifted his head sharply, his eyes shining. Yes. Jiang Peiyao's flower shop opened late. When we reached the school, it was summer vacation, and the gates were locked tight. Lu Chen led me familiarly to a low wall. Sister-in-law, I'll pull you up. I rarely saw this childish side of the current Lu Chen, but it felt like his real personality, gloomy. I held out my hand. With one strong pull, I was safely on the wall. His arm was strong and reassuring. When I landed, I was surrounded by his scent. All I could see was his bobbing Adam's apple. In that moment, my heart skipped a beat. We were two. Lu Chen quickly let go, his ears turning red unnaturally. Sister-in-law, sorry. I collected myself. It's fine. Before we could run into the school, the security guard at the gate spotted us. Hey, stop, what are you doing? Lu Chen and I exchanged a look and ran. The empty playground left us nowhere to hide. The guard chased after us, exhausted. Lu Chen's eyes lit up with amusement. Sister-in-law, we're gonna get caught. I laughed loudly, all the gloom of recent days lifting. I hadn't been this happy in a long time. Old as he was, the guard still caught us. I apologized sincerely. He squinted at Lu Chen like he recognized him. I remember writing your name down back in high school, didn't I? Lu Chen. Yeah, that's it. I was amazed the guard still remembered him. From what I recalled, Lu Chen had been very low-key in high school. The guard grinned proudly. I sure do. This kid was always following some girl home, too shy to tell her. I've never seen anyone that head over heels. Lu Chen blushed immediately and pulled me away. Sister-in-law, don't listen to him. Old people have bad memories. I stared at the back of his head, a bitter taste in my throat. So Lu Chen had loved someone once too. Could it have been Jiang Peiyao? Jiang Peiyao's shop was not far from the school. It was busy when we arrived, but we spotted the beautiful shop owner at once. Her hair was in a pretty ponytail. Her eyes lit up when she saw me. Wei, what made you find time to visit? I hugged her gently. Yao, long time no see. Jiang Peiyao and I were complete opposites. She'd been a sweet, kind beauty in school. I only cared about studying, and later, work cold, quiet, and ambitious. If she hadn't spoken to me first, we never would have become close friends. When she saw the man behind me, she suddenly panicked. You're Lu Chen, right? Lu Chen nodded. You still remember me. She froze for a second, squeezing my hand tighter, her voice shaking. You two are together? Sis, Lu Chen started to speak, but I cut him off immediately. Sort of. I couldn't explain the possessiveness rising inside me, nor did I want to explain our strange relationship to Yao Yao. Logically, I knew I couldn't be Lu Chen's type. Unexpectedly, Lu Chen turned to look at me right away, a hint of joy flashing in his eyes. My attention was drawn back to Jiang Peiyao. She mumbled to herself, "That's good, that's good." I was about to ask what she meant, but she quickly changed the subject and helped a customer. Not wanting to disturb her work, I pulled Lu Chen away. After leaving Jiang Peiyao's flower shop, Lu Chen kept glancing back, deep in thought. I let go of his hand. Do you care about her that much? Lu Chen smiled playfully and leaned closer. Who, Jiang Peiyao, sister-in-law, are you jealous? I pushed his face away expressionlessly. You wish. But inside, I was fleeing faster than anyone. A month passed in a blink. Our marital home was completely renovated. From warm yellow walls to elegant, the house no longer smelled of sour oranges. Instead, strawberry cake, Lu Chen's favorite, was always in the fridge. I threw myself back into my busy work schedule, sometimes staying away from home for a week due to overtime. Lu Chen still hadn't regained his memories of our 5 years of marriage. Thankfully, Lu Chen had started actively exploring his own likes. New, happy memories were replacing the old, painful ones. Though I seemed to be part of those old memories too. Dim and uninteresting. We fell back into our partnership like marriage. Whether wife or sister-in-law, an uncrossable distance remained between us. After returning from a business trip, I noticed Lu Chen had been smiling at his phone a lot lately. When he went to take a shower, his screen lit up. Against my better judgment, I looked. A WeChat message popped up, from Jiang Peiyao. Do you still like it? As his partner wife, I didn't even have the right to be jealous. I told myself this was a good thing, wasn't it? He'd found someone he liked. I even considered the saddest ending, divorce. But the tragedy was, I couldn't even do that. In his mind, I was still his sister-in-law. How could I divorce his sister-in-law? I laughed through my tears. Acting out of spite, I pulled all the beer from the fridge and drank it all. When Lu Chen came out after showering, the room was spinning. He looked like many people. I cried and buried myself in his arms, calling his name over and over. If I could be reckless for just one night. Please. My heart screamed. I like you, I like you, I really like you, Lu Chen. Lu Chen froze completely. His lips were soft, his ears soft, his voice hoarse. The world spun. I heard him whisper. I can do it too, can't I, sister-in-law? Shut up, I insisted. The next morning, Lu Chen curled himself up in the blanket, only messy hair, and half a blushing face showing. When our eyes met, I knew I'd been truly drunk last night. I panicked and explained. Don't take it seriously, I didn't mean it. You can still chase your own happiness. But the more I spoke, the more I messed up. I watched Lu Chen's face turn pale in an instant, his eyes filling with sorrow. His expression went cold, and he got dressed quickly. Like a completely different person from the shy. He stood up without looking at me again, his fingers digging almost painfully into his skin. I know, you like Lu Yang. That was just an accident, you only kissed me out of pity. No, I wanted to explain, but the words wouldn't come out. I just watched his back, swallowing the bitterness in my chest. How could I stop him from finding someone better? A full month had passed since that night. I hadn't seen Lu Chen. I threw myself into work, accepting every business trip. The butler called several times, asking when I'd come home. I always said I was busy. Better to end it early than fall deeper. Once he regained his memories, I would ask for a divorce. The money I'd saved at Jiaxin was enough to live comfortably for a long time. This business trip took me to Yunnan, a city with mild weather and a slow pace. Staring at the beautiful scenery outside my window, I suddenly thought, buying a small house here, opening a flower shop like Yao Yao, might not be so bad. Maybe find someone I love to spend the rest of my life with. If not, a cat or dog would be fine too. I never expected to run into Jiang Peiyao at the flower market. I'm sorry. Jiang Peiyao sat across from me, never touching her coffee. She bit her lip, and suddenly apologized sincerely. I was confused. Sorry for what? She lowered her head, eyes red. Ever since I found out you and Lu Chen were together, my first thought was thank goodness. But the guilt has been eating me alive. You know what, Wei Wei? I was so jealous of you. Jealous you were smart, jealous you were popular, jealous that even when you were quiet, people liked you. I had to try so hard to be liked. But you got everything I wanted, without even trying. So years ago, when Lu Chen asked me for your contact information, I changed one digit on purpose. He liked you so much. I was crazy with jealousy. I told myself that maybe you really liked the sunny, handsome older brother Lu Yang. That way, I wouldn't feel as guilty. But all these years, I've thought, if you two missed each other because of me, I'd never forgive myself. Wei Wei, a few days ago, Lu Chen added me and confronted me about what happened back then. I've been going crazy. I'm so sorry. Really, I'm so sorry. I stood up abruptly. Jiang Peiyao jumped. The coffee in front of me spilled everywhere. I couldn't even bring myself to hate her. One thought repeated in my head, I have to go home. I have to find Lu Chen. I looked at the guilt-stricken girl in front of me and said simply, thank you for telling me. Luckily, it's not too late. But things between Jiang Peiyao and me would never be the same again. I bought the last flight home that night, but standing in front of our door, I couldn't bring myself to open it. Like a traveler lost in the desert suddenly seeing an oasis afraid it was just a mirage. Lu Chen had liked me in high school, but did he still like me now? I stood outside, drowning in sad possibilities. Before I could gather my courage, the door opened. Lu Chen stood there, messy-haired, holding trash. It dropped to the floor with a thud. My heart calmed. Sister-in-law? Something inside me snapped. I grabbed him and bit his lip hard. Don't you dare call me sister-in-law again. Lu Chen couldn't understand why the woman who'd been gone for over a month would suddenly kiss him bite him like this. So that was pity too? An accident? I looked at him seriously. It wasn't pity, it wasn't an accident, it wasn't anything else, I just like you. I wanted to kiss you. Lu Chen was stunned by my sudden confession. The mix of hope and fear on his face was more vivid than ever. He stepped closer and held me tightly, voice choked. Sister-in-law, if you keep doing this, I won't let go, not even for my brother. I hugged him back, whispering close to his ear, I've told you hundreds of times I'm not your sister-in-law. Why won't you listen? But joy flooded my heart. How could someone as ordinary as me be loved by you for so many years? I'm sorry I kept you waiting. I'm sorry I'm selfish, cowardly, and terrible. And I don't want you to go to someone better. The first rays of morning sun streamed through the newly renovated windows. He held my face, thumb gently brushing my skin. I don't care if I remember those 5 years or not. We're lovers now. I can finally kiss you properly. Lu Chen regained his memories of those 5 years of marriage on a completely ordinary morning, a year after we confessed to each other. He woke up from a strange dream, and everything suddenly came rushing back. Memories flashed through his mind. As kids, even though they were twins, his brother was always more loved. He only got the toys his brother picked out, the clothes his brother had worn. He just wanted his parents to notice him, to wish him happy birthday at a party that was always for his brother. His brother had everything, even the girl he liked his brother. To be fair, his brother had been a good person, sometimes acting naughty on purpose so their parents would notice Lu Chen's obedience, always buying him birthday gifts. But at 17, his brother was gone. And with him, Lu Chen's only light died too. All his parents had left for him was hatred. Dinner was his worst nightmare, the suffocating silence. His mother forced him to smile like Lu Yang, like what Lu Yang liked, cut his hair like Lu Yang, act like Lu Yan. Until he became Lu Yan. Lu Chen looked down at the woman sleeping peacefully in his arms, his heart melting. Thankfully, she appeared. He quietly laced his fingers through hers, kissed her ring, and murmured, "You ended up in my hands after all." No one knew that years ago, Lu Chen had been working late, taking a short break on his phone, when he saw her familiar profile post that desperate message. "Some guy, alive who wants to marry me." He'd fallen off his chair in shock. After checking again and again that it was really her, he immediately called his assistant. "My household registration. My latest medical report. Scan and send them to me, now." His assistant, woken up in the middle of the night, was furious but did as told. The minute he sent the files and waited for her reply, felt like the longest of his life, but luckily, she didn't refuse. She just agreed to meet. That morning, Lu Chen tried on 21 different outfits. He carefully lifted the corners of his mouth into the perfect smile. If she liked his brother, then he could become whoever she wanted. They looked exactly the same. If his brother could do it, why couldn't he? He even printed a partnership marriage contract before leaving. As long as he could be with her, he didn't care if it was real love or not. Besides, he was confident the terms were more than enough to make her say yes. When he saw her satisfied smile, her fair hand reaching out, deal. The second he held Jiang Yue's hand, Lu Chen knew he'd made the best decision of his life. He was so careful, even afraid his fast heartbeat would scare her. In that moment, he held his whole world. Jiang Yue woke up sleepily. Lu Chen kissed her forehead. Good morning, wife. Jiang Yue was shocked. Why aren't you calling me sister-in-law anymore? Lu Chen flicked her forehead helplessly. The sister-in-law game? It expired.